Alright, it's been a minute, but we're back. Blue raspberry. So first off, if you haven't been following me on Instagram, then you might not know what's going on. I think it's nearly been 50 days since I uploaded my last YouTube video. So recently, my wife and I, we moved our whole lives from Christchurch, New Zealand to Melbourne, Australia. This is just one from the memory books. We're currently in the process of tidying up and cleaning and selling shit in our house because we're moving to Melbourne. So what you're probably most interested in, which is why you're here, is how's the running been and what's my running been like while I've been here in Melbourne. It turns out here in Australia, the way that a lot of people do their training is they'll do a session on a Tuesday, a session on a Friday, and then a long run on a Sunday. Whereas back home I was doing a session on a Wednesday, which would typically be a tempo session, and then I would do a long run / session on Saturday, sort of mixed in. So it would be like a long run with marathon paced efforts somewhere in the mix. How they do it here is they do Tuesday, which I would call is critical velocity VO2 max. So you are doing 800 meter repeats, 400 meter repeats, 8 by 2 minutes, something along those lines. And then on Friday, they do threshold sessions. So 2 by 12 minutes, 3 by 3K, 2 by 4K, things like that. And then on Sunday, they'll do a long run. And so I quickly asked my coach, Andy, if we could switch from this Wednesday, Saturday to Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. So my runs would align better with other people here, because that's another thing that I've noticed is just because there are so many runners here in Melbourne, there's a lot more people who are running at a similar pace to me. Like I went out on Friday and did a session, and there was probably 7 or 8 of us in a group running 355 to 350 pace. Let's get into the week of training. So Monday morning, I was supposed to run 50 minutes easy, and I didn't. On Tuesday, what was prescribed to me by coach was 2 by 22 minutes at about 4 minute to 4:05 minute pace, which I didn't do. Ended up going down to the track. I jumped in with a session with Tess Marks. She was doing a 3K progression into 8 by 2 minutes. And so the 3K progression went 350, 345, and then we closed in 327. Then we had a 2 minute standing rest, and then we did 8 by 2 minutes at 330 pace. Now, it was 26 degrees when I left the apartment that morning to go and run at 5:30 a.m., which was obscene. So to be fair, I only got through 5 by 2 minutes instead of the full 8, because I was just going to be absolutely cooked if I did the full 8. Alright, so in this box is some new running gear from a brand that I have wanted to purchase from for the longest time. And as you can tell, it's from Bandit, Navy Cat. This is one of the running tops. I don't actually know what the specific name of it is. What I've most been looking forward to is these, which is the 7-inch running tights. And apparently from everyone I've talked to about these things, wow, they feel amazing. These are the best running tights on the market. These things have 7 pockets, so what was it? It's 2 pockets on the side. Apparently there's 4 gel pockets, 2 there, 2 there, and then a zipper pocket on the back. So that is my Bandit running haul.
Good morning. It's like 6 a.m. I'm going for a run this morning with one of my friends, Kat. I caught up with her last week before last, at Albert Park, but now we're actually going to go for an actual run.
Wednesday, I did 60 minutes easy with Kat Newton, who runs with Hunter Athletics. She took me to I think it's the Melbourne Uni track. Thursday, we're down at AM/PM. Just did like 45 minutes easy and a few strides just to finish that out. We're doing a threshold like catch-up tuning this morning. I woke up 14 minutes ago. Not good. And then so Friday was the big session. So this was the one that my coach was most interested in me trying to nail. And so we were doing a zone check-in. The session was warm-up, which is 20 minutes, which is standard, and then going into 12 minutes at 3:55 pace, and then 18 minutes at 3:45 pace, and then 12 minutes at 3:35 pace. And the whole thing was, as soon as I sort of felt 5 seconds off per kilometre in any of those segments, I was to cut the session, and that was to be it. And so luckily, Tess, Kat, Matt, who else was in the group? Cam, they were all doing a session of their own, which was 3x3K at 3:55, 3:50, 3:45 pace. I think they were doing sort of like a bit of a progression as well. And so I ran the first 3K or 12 minutes with them. And then my session was continuous, so there was no rest in between the sections. The whole idea was that I was just going to go for as long as possible until that was it. And I got about 17 minutes through the 3:45 pace before calling it. We're on to the last run of the week, the Sunday long run. This week's Sunday long run is slightly shorter than previous weeks. We're aiming for an hour 45 today because we had that hard workout on Friday. So I did allow myself the opportunity to sleep in this morning. So now it's 10 past 8. So I'm probably going to be out the door by maybe 8:45. So home or finished by about 10:30. So it might be slightly warmer than ideal, but it's not supposed to be a super hot day today. So anyway, I'm back. Appreciate your patience on me coming back to the channel. I've really enjoyed picking up the camera again and documenting the process. And so we'll continue to do this as we move into the Ballarat build, if you want to call it that. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you next week.